Well, this kind of sucks. We just bought these new vans, well, new to us, and actually they've been really great, but there's a couple of small problems with this one. There's a small leak in the exhaust, that's not a big deal, but the big thing right now is yesterday, when I was backing up the rear brakes, what I figure has happened, from anything I can figure out, is they've over-adjusted themselves and they're stuck now. And I'm pretty sure it's not a stuck emergency brake cable, because even though the emergency brake cable is released, it is tight all the way from start to finish. So that can only mean, I'm assuming, that the rear shoes have adjusted too tight. So I found this out yesterday because we came home and there was quite an awful smell and it wasn't driving properly and it seemed to be working a little hard. So that'll mean I have to do a tow charge to get it to the garage, because I obviously can't drive it. But oh well. It's not the worst thing in the world. When I bought these, I had a deal. I got a second one with it that I'm using for the real estate, but kind of serves as a second vehicle, so I've just changed all the seats over, and we'll use this one. After watching a YouTube video and talking to my good friend mechanic down in the States, what I figured happened was probably true. When the e-brake was on and I backed up by accident, it seems that the back brake shoes have adjusted themselves too tight. There's a little adjuster inside there. It's a little gear mechanism, and it's on a tab. And if I get a chance, I'll show you. And when they back up, most brakes adjust when you go in reverse. Some adjust when you put the e-brake. I'm presuming this one adjusts by reverse, but you can see being that I have the e-brake already on. And there's a little rubber tab. I'll see if I can't get inside here to show you. Okay, where are we here? There we are. There's a little rubber tab here that just gets pulled out, and inside there, that's where the... One thing I'd like to say is, keep in mind, I'm not a Class A auto mechanic, and the first and the last time I worked on brake shoes was back in 1986. So, I'm relying solely on my mechanical intuition at this point, not experience. Hi, Kitty. I'm just going to pull the wheels off to give myself a little bit more room, and that way when I get this thing adjusted, I'll pull the drum off and see if I can see anything broken. Hello, Hornet. Yeah, nice Hornet. Yep. Plastic. I remember when all hubcaps used to be a deal. They would come out so easily. What a piece of junk. Scratch the paint. The nice thing is that the Ranger and the Aerostars are interchangeable. And I've got brand new drums on my Redneck Ranger, and there's no need for the Redneck Ranger to have brand new drums, and the nice family van to have work drums. Oh, that's weird. Look how long those bolts are in that thing. You gotta be kidding me. I went and bought my deep socket yesterday. For some reason, these bolts are sticking out far. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever seen them come out this far before in anything I've owned. So, $10 later. See, I have a deep socket, a 19 mil, but they're not an impact. And when you're using an impact wrench, you have to use the right kind. If you use a socket, they could shatter, and that won't be very good for everybody. I knew they weren't these because these were just put on when I bought it. Alrighty. Well, where have I been working? That's where all my screwdrivers will be. Okay, there's a little rubber hole, stopper that went in there, and I've got it out. Now, I don't know if I can get this to show you inside the hole. I don't know if you can see this or not. Inside there, there's a little gear mechanism, and all that is, it's an adjuster, and I'm prying my screwdriver in there, and I've already got this one loosened up pretty good. So I'm going to just do it a bit more and get this drum off so that I can see if there's anything else inside there that's broken or a spring might have come off or something. So I've got the drum off. He told me to look for blue, and if it was blue at all, it's hard to say. I'll have to get it out in the sun to see if they're warped or not, and I'll know the first time I put the brakes on if they are. The shoes are not too bad. This one here looks a little thin at the front, and the back doesn't look too bad. Now I don't know if it's supposed to be wore unevenly like this. You know, I should remember that stuff, but then again, 86 was a long time ago. My mechanical intuition is telling me it shouldn't do that. That's probably because they were on when I drove home, not knowing that they were stuck. So I don't know if I'm in for a shoe job or not. I haven't done brake shoes since then, so that'll be an interesting job. Okay, this is weird. Now I'm more puzzled than I was when I started. This drum just came right off, and it's spinning perfect now. But when I had that on, it wouldn't turn, but it just slid right off. And this one doesn't have the same wear, not as bad. So it's almost like the one side was too tight over the other, and I'm sure that that's possible. That's just strange. I just don't know how that could have happened. You know, I have enough mechanical intuition to know that something's not right, but not the experience to know what it is. So that's kind of frustrating, because this doesn't seem right. It was sticking a little bit. That drum's kind of shabby. If I had the money right now, I'd probably just do a whole new back brake job on it, being that this fan's going to be with us for a while. Well, because I had to loosen them off so far, this side seems to be not too bad. It's just touching a bit. I have a funny feeling my drum is probably warped. So this side here was pretty loose. I had to do this one quite a bit to get the drum off. So now I'm going to go and adjust it to tighten it a little bit, according to the YouTube video I watched. And we'll see how that goes. And also a personal thanks to my friend down in, they're not in Colorado anymore, Michigan. Thanks, John. How's it going? Alright, well, I put that little rubber stopper back in. I got it adjusted as best I could. And I guess it looks like to me, from the way it's designed, this is the kind that adjusts every time you pull the e-brake. So, you know, it really shouldn't matter. You should be able to pull that e-brake as much as you want. It should never really over-tighten on its own. And I'm just thinking it must have just been the fact that I was reversing, which pulls the brakes out as it is. A lot of them adjust themselves when you back up. And the fact that I also put the foot pedal on when I was backing up. I don't know. Nothing seemed to be damaged in it. So I'm going to take it out for a spin, and we'll see how much vibration we get. And that'll tell me whether or not I got to replace the rotors on it. Drums on it. You know, it's funny. Grade 9 automotive, one of the first lessons I learned. Never trust a jack. And anybody out there who's a professional will know this, and anybody who's an amateur knows this either by finding out the hard way, or they're just not stupid. So, yeah, never trust a jack, mechanical or hydraulic. And especially, of course, when you're working on uneven ground as I am. Hence the fact I've got an extra log here just in case. If for any reason it fell. I gave it a good test and it seemed to be alright. Took it for a test run, and it seemed to be alright, no shuddering. It's rolling pretty good. We don't have any heat on it or anything, so it's not stuck anymore. And it seems to be stopping just as good. The e-brake seems to work just fine. It does pull off to the right just a little bit, but that could be anything though. You know, doesn't seem to be too bad. So hopefully the problem's been solved. As to why it happened, I have no idea. So I'm just getting the dog to clean up some of the crumbs that the kids have left behind. Easier than getting the vacuum. Well, looks like my organic vacuum cleaner's almost done. Hey, are you done? You get it all cleaned up? Alright.